Hey there, and welcome. Are you dreaming about your next big trip? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to cover all the essential English you'll need to plan, pack for, and of course, tell awesome stories about your dream holiday. So let's dive right in. So, are you ready for this? Because after this quick run through, you're going to have all the key words to help turn that travel dream into a real plan. Every great journey starts with just one decision. So before we even think about booking flights or packing a single thing, we got to figure out what kind of adventure we're really looking for. Okay, so let's get to the fun part first, picking what kind of trip you want. Are you feeling like you need to relax or explore or maybe get back to nature? The words you'll need will totally change depending on what you pick. First up, we've got the classic beach holiday. This is all about sunshine, sand, and just kicking back by the sea. Just picture it. You're on a lounge chair with a good book, and all you can hear are the waves. Or maybe you're looking for something with a little more buzz. A city break is perfect for that. It's a short, exciting trip to a famous city. Maybe exploring Paris or New York for a weekend. Now, if you're all about soaking up some culture and history, you're probably dreaming of a sightseeing tour. This means you'll be spending your days visiting all the famous monuments and cool museums a place has to offer. And last but not least, for all you adventurers out there, there's the camping trip. This one is all about getting away from it all, sleeping in a tent, and really connecting with nature. All right, you ready for a quick practice run? Based on what we just went over, which type of holiday fits in this sentence? I'll give you a second to think about it. Yep, that's it. If you love nature and mountains, you want to go camping. Nice one. So now that you've got the trip picked out, what comes next? So you've chosen your adventure. Awesome. Now it's time to get practical and actually make the plan. We're going to need a few key verbs to get this journey off the ground. The whole process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you book your flight or hotel. That's how you reserve your spot. Next, you pack your suitcase with everything you need. And finally, when you're on your trip, you get to stay somewhere new and exciting. So just remember those three: book, pack, and stay. All right, your turn. How would you use one of those verbs here? My flight to London today. Which one is it? Exactly. You need to book your flight. That's the word you'll use anytime you're making a reservation for travel or a hotel. Great job. Okay, the trip is booked. So, what's next? You guessed it, packing. This part is all about the essential things you just can't leave home without. Let's run through 4 absolute must-haves for travel. Your passport, that's your official ID you need to travel internationally. Your flight is the journey itself on the plane. The boarding pass is basically your ticket to get on the plane. And of course, the suitcase, where all your stuff goes. And hey, a little pro tip for you: always, and I mean always, double check you have your passport and boarding pass before you head to the airport. Okay, here's a problem I think we've all had before. What's way too heavy because you just had to pack too many shoes? Of course, it's the suitcase. We've all been there, right? It's so easy to overpack your suitcase, especially with shoes. All right, so planning, done. Bags, packed. Now we get to the really good stuff. It's finally time for the adventure and all the fun things you're going to be doing. So let's imagine for a second you're in Paris and you want to go see the Eiffel Tower. What's that special word we use for that activity? The sentence is, let's go. You got it. Let's go sightseeing. Sightseeing is just that general perfect word for visiting famous and interesting places when you're a tourist. Okay, one last one for you. What are those little gifts or things you buy, to remember your trip by? Souvenirs. That's the word. Souvenirs are those small things we bring back home to remember the amazing time we had on our holiday. So the trip itself might be over, but the memories, they last forever. So now let's look at how you can use all these new words to tell everyone about your amazing trip. When you get back, your friends and family are going to want to hear all about it. And honestly, just answering these 3 simple questions is the perfect way to tell your story so everyone understands. And here's a perfect example of how that works. Look at this. I went to Italy. That's where you went. I stayed in a small hotel. That's where you stayed. And I went sightseeing. That's what you did. See? Super simple, right? You are totally ready to tell your own travel stories now. And just like that, we're at the end. You now have the essential words to dream, plan, and share your adventures. So really, the only question left to ask is, where will your next story begin?